with
Well,
him.
what were you like at that time?
I was a joy to be around, bro. I was 20 years old. You know what I mean?
His frontal lobe was not developing. He was wilding.
I think you know what a better way to look at it would be let's try to imagine some of the things that he had been through with artists up to that point. And it may not have been anything that I was doing that exhibited such headache behavior, but that could have just been a signal, a trigger for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or what this might turn into. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because we've been cool, you know, this whole time. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, to me, if a better decision was going to be made, I just feel like the only way it would have been possible is through mentorship. It's through him taking the extra step and just caring enough to not let me make a bad decision. You know what I mean?
Well, how are you changing
everybody?
that? How are you changing that now?
I mean, you know, I'm being the change that I want to see. You know, but I've had experiences with artists. You know, I'm mostly on the mentorship side, but I've had experiences with artists where it was just like, I can't handle it. I can't deal with it.
Like
What
who?
is he? Oh, what is
Like
he?
who?
Oh, no.
Like who?
Nobody that I would say names, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, just dealing with younger artists is tough. It's tough, especially during the internet era where they have all of this information at their fingertips. I don't think the knowledge is to be at your fingertips. I think it's something that you should pursue. And I think the fact that you don't have to really go on that pursuit of knowledge and you don't have to really seek knowledge, it's just kind of readily available to you.
Right.
You find yourself in a situation where you don't really know what to believe because now you got knowledge that you can just access, but they give you options of what the real truth is.
And you get to pick whatever. We did this one day. BIGGA had said something. I thought, what were we talking about?
Something in the soda or something. The embryo.
The embryo.
Coca-Cola.
And there were sites that backed up his claims, and then there were sites that backed up our claims. So it's like, we really don't have any.
Because it's not knowledge, that's information.
Right.
There's a difference. There's a difference. The information is cool. The information is everywhere, but how you disseminate it, how you put it to use, that takes knowledge. And that 9 times out of 10 takes time. And you can't. It's hard to tell. And it's hard to talk to somebody who's right here and explain to him you know a lot and you don't know what to do with it. You know a lot. There's plenty of information. You typed in whatever.com and here comes everything that you said was right, and it's still wrong. And I'm trying to explain to you why what you read doesn't apply to you specifically, and you don't want it. That's why I was asking. It was a perfect.
Well,
Could you have been too much of a headache?
It's a catch-22 because I'm a firm believer that where there's a choice, there are no victims. Once you make the choice, you stand on it.
Yeah.
So like when I see artists like Mace upset that Diddy won't release his masters, is it a business thing or is it a friendship thing? Or are you like, okay, as a friend, I would assume that you would feel obligated to just give me my masters. But as a business, it's like, that's kind of hard to balance.
Mace didn't want to give it. He was trying to buy him. He put up $2 million. He
That
wanted
ain't
to buy him from him.
Yeah, but either way,
But what I'm
buying it or not, it's still his option to
No,
say
absolutely.
no.
Absolutely.
We just saw Irv Gotti say no to Ashanti on Drink Champs. Shout out to Nori, shout out to
He said
EFN.
no to Ashanti.
Yeah, she wants to get her masters back.
I thought she was the one that is recreating everything. She said she's gonna recreate it all.
So, and that's not the same situation where you're taking down your old music and recreating it and re-uploading it. So, what exactly is that?
You're just getting them back contractually after the
time
contractual
period.
agreement. The
own it
amount
now.
of time is
Right.
up. Yeah, I own it now.
So how does it work? Does the label they take it down for
Licensing.
It's a license. It's a
They only license the masters.
they only license the masters?
Which means they didn't help y'all make the album.
No, they did. We still got money to make.
But you still got?
We
Nice.
still got money to make the album. Still got money in the market. But when the licensing commitment was over, we have the option now to take them back and do what we want as well.
conversion.
So you don't, but why can't it be the same version? Why would it have to be a new recording?
It doesn't
No,
have
his
to be.
doesn't have to be.
Not my situation.
Because of
Her
Shanti,
situation.
yeah, because Irv won't give it back to her.
She's
How
remaking
she's gonna get
everything.
around it is she can recreate everything,
Like
and
a
now
cover.
she owns it. Yes.
Like a cover.
Yes. But his reversion is rare because 7 years is very good.
Yeah, it's
Usually
short
it's
term.
12 years.
But sometimes they just don't give them. Like
and then,
sometimes
and then
they own
usually
them.
you have to recoup your money back
First.
and then it's 12 years. Like it's usually a lot of stipulations.
Or they just say we own
to
the
get
like
that
on
back.
some Mace Diddy
Yeah.
shit. No, I put the
Own
money
it.
in.
That's why I said he
own
had a good
I own
lawyer.
these masters.
Some of the
Yeah.
masters does. Some of the masters, we don't have them all back.
Okay.
Both of them, we don't.
Okay. So what does a fair situation between an artist and a label look like?
We were just talking about that earlier.
How?
We disagree.
How's that ever gonna be fair?
We don't really disagree. It's I think that it looks one way with the label, with a label, with like a regular label that an artist just views as like a corporation that they don't associate with a face or a name. Once it's a friendship, a Puff and Mace type of situation, or
Jay-Z and Bleak.
yeah, Mason, Fabio type of situation, whatever a situation is where you're trying to cultivate a friendship as well as a business relationship, I think that's where it gets fuzzy. Like how do you what's a fair deal? When I say fair, I'm using that term loosely. Because in order for it to be fair, it would have to be agreed on both sides over time that this is something fair. What's the scenario that exists where an artist isn't looking at that agreement in retrospect and saying to his or herself, damn, what did I sign and why did this person let me sign that?
Yeah,
Why did this
there's
person
been
take my
hundreds
master?
of artists that
Did they
came
have a
through
lawyer
here,
though?
and
Did
it's the
they have
same
a
thing.
lawyer?
Yeah, I mean, that's always the case. They always had a lawyer. But I think the majority of the time, what I'm noticing is it seems like that those artists had a trust for whoever they signed with. They had like a trust. It was different. Just like I'm kind of looking at Dre a little bit different from how I would have looked at Jimmy Iovine. You know what I
Right.
mean? Maybe it's just a black man thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like maybe that's just what it is. But I don't know if we can afford the luxury of adopting the same business tactics and ideologies as these big white man labels. I don't know if we have the luxury of doing that.
Meaning what?
Why is
I'm
that?
curious what you.
I mean,
what you by
the
that.
same business tactics, meaning, nothing is artist friendly. Everything is business, nothing personal, but everything is family while, people are hot. and
Or while
shit
we
like
put
that.
money into your
Because
project.
in retrospect, regardless of whatever the situation is, both parties do benefit. Now, it's whether one party is benefiting way more or is it a balance? Like, what's the balance?
One party was putting up way
There's no
more.
balance.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you putting in money, but when
I'm
you're
putting
putting
in
up the
more.
money in any business, let's take music out of it. When you're the one putting up the money, you're gonna get the bulk of the return because
You're
have
taking
to-
the majority of
Yeah,
the
you're
risk.
Because you're
risk.
taking a
You're taking a
financial risk, and it's a money thing.
Right.
So we
Not
taking a risk. It's like I'm not gonna make $100, and I'm taking the risk. I'm giving you 50. No. I'm taking the risk. I'm taking my money back,
And then
we're gonna gauge
Yeah.
what the split is gonna be from there. And most rappers or singers think it should be 50-50. But then the label comes in and says, I'm still putting more money into you ongoing though. It never stops until I drop you until you leave.
Right.
Until you just cool off completely.
Yeah.
Keno, I'm gonna need you to speak up because you're not mic'd up.
Going back here, it's just knowing your value. You just gotta know your value. At the end of the day, if you allow somebody to give you $1 for your IP, then that's the deal.
Yeah.
If you feel like your IP is worth $10 billion, then that's what you said. We just always knew, and I think we've had strong people around us too, with attorneys, but you can't really value, for me, you can't value what is intellectual property.
Right.
I understand the niggas that's writing checks. That's what y'all do, y'all write checks.
Right.
You create something. Y'all, rappers, y'all create. I always say that's like the next thing, like art is like a God tap. God's the only thing that can create something out of just thought and nothing, right?
Right.
Artists do the same thing. You can't value the sun. You can't come in and be like, what's the moon worth?
He owns a piece of the moon.
Sure I
So
can.
For me,
He owns a piece of the moon,
You
right?
actually can.
He
You
owns a
actually
piece of
can
the
buy
moon.
real estate on the moon.
He owns a piece of the moon.
Apparently you can, yeah.
when we walk in the room, I think like that automatically, right? But I also understand if I buy a painting for $100,000 and that dude blow up and now his painting is worth $10 million, he can't come back and ask me for his painting back.
Right.
Because I only paid $100,000 for it. Like I bought what I bought. The deal is the deal.
Right.
You just got to know your worth and value versus the deals you set. So if you can't put a price on his talent for me, then I asked you for $10 million and I want it back in 2 years. And if it's not the right deal for you, that's cool too. You got the right to say no.
Right.
But if you agree, then that's a fair deal. A fair deal is where
Right.
everybody
Where there's a choice, there's no
Of
victims.
course, it's fair. But as an artist, and you building a friendship with that person, and that person is more experienced than you are, and that person has a little bit more wherewithal, and can see a little bit more of you than you can see of yourself, and then you end up hitting that spot that you didn't know that you were gonna hit, but that person kind of had the foresight to see that. You're gonna feel a little bit taken advantage of.
Well, there's always a chance that you won't hit that spot.
Yeah.
Then
Oh
there's
yeah.
that.
No. Listen, I'm not even saying it to give pushback and say that I'm siding on either side. I understand both sides.
No, this is for the people listening.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just-
understand both sides, and that's the reason why I think I'm not rushing to be in that position as an executive signing. Just with the blockchain, Web3, the way this shit is, technology is moving, I don't see it being so much longer where the label is going to be necessary.
If
You
they
know.
got the money,
I do.
you need
I
the
do.
money.
I do. I do.
Borrow money just like we borrow money.
But they can borrow millions
Yeah,
and millions
they
of dollars.
can get
that we
way more.
can't.
Yeah.
That's
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.